It didn't really occur to me as a career option until 2013 when I started Green OK Please. Of course, I'm an absolute nature junkie as well. I had the opportunity to work on a few, social causes, environmental causes. Some friends really encouraged me.
A media junkie turned a social entrepreneur. Was being part of the eco cause always so strong with you? How did you decide to turn it into a business and when?
I have actually been interested in environmental issues right from when I was probably 15 or 16. And participating in tree plantation drives or cleanup drives when I studied in Bangalore back then. I started just giving people advice on little things that they could do, how they could compost, where they could get organic products. And that's how Green OK Please came about.
So what are the challenges in setting up an e-commerce business and a marketplace? I'm sure the technical stuff is easy, but how are you getting the companies to be on board?
On the contrary, the technical stuff is the one that's really hard because I don't actually have a technical background. But since I'm so passionate about eco-friendly products, as a whole, I connect with people through maybe learning about them from the internet or just hearing about them at different maybe markets, sometimes just word of mouth. And I love visiting different farms and things like that. A lot of women make products from home. So when you talk to them and you just see that passion, you know whether you want to work with them or not.
As a woman entrepreneur, do you face any problems as such? I'm not saying that there's a bias towards the men, but have you faced any stereotypical problems in your everyday work?
Not at all. If anything, this whole, women entrepreneurs versus, male entrepreneurs, I think if anything, it puts us at an advantage because there are so many organizations supporting women entrepreneurs. There are so many platforms that are trying to empower women. I think 90% of the people I meet in my daily life, they mostly seem to be women. So I think we're in a good place.
Tell us about some of your very successful green initiatives in and around Pune, your recycling projects, etc.
I'm currently working with a couple of other organizations on a waste management project where we're studying the non-biodegradable plastics that are there in Pune and just trying to find possible solutions so that they don't actually go into landfills. Other than that, Green OK Please organizes an annual bazaar which is called Eco Street. So this helps put consumers directly in touch with manufacturers, just a place where they can buy eco-friendly products. So we get in touch with corporates and try to tell them that they need to lower their footprint, and they can do that by giving more sustainable, more eco-friendly gifts, less packaging, less plastic, that kind of thing.
So some people consider being eco-friendly as a fad or a hipster trend. What can we do to change this and convince people of being eco-friendly as an everyday way of life?
It is a huge fad, we can't deny it. But thankfully there's some of us who are actually trying to imbibe it in our daily lives. So I think if each individual just starts to think about their consumption patterns or just tries to think a little bit about maybe just the packaging that they're buying stuff in, or even little efforts like that one less plastic bag they start using. I think it's an individual thing. There's loads of organizations and industries working towards it. But at the end of the day, I think each and every one of us is where the change is going to come from.
And finally, for the women entrepreneurs who are watching this video today, give us some tips and advice. And is passion enough to start a company?
I would say being passionate is enough to start the company. It may not be enough to keep the company in the running for a long time. There's a lot of other things you need. You need a workforce and you need money. What I find is that we sometimes just get so naive, or sometimes we're so complacent. Things like funding and things like, actually working towards getting investors on board is something that we tend to ignore. It's something that I know that I tended to ignore. I would say once you ride out all the lows, you will come out up top. So you just have to hang in there and always maintain balance. I think that time to yourself is very important as well.